Good evening, and welcome to What the Wild. I'm Max Meerkat. Tonight, incredible true stories from the animal kingdom. Let's begin. Story 1. In 2012, a cat named Holly traveled with her family to a gathering in Daytona Beach, Florida, almost 200 miles from her home. It should have been an ordinary trip, but one evening something startled her, and Holly bolted out into the night and vanished. Her family searched for days. They called her name, left out food, and put up flyers across the area. But there was no sign of her anywhere. Heartbroken, they finally had to drive the long road home without their cat. Weeks passed, then a full month. They had almost given up hope. And then, nearly 2 months later, something unbelievable happened. A thin, exhausted cat was found wandering a backyard, just 1 mile from Holly's own front door. Her paws were raw and worn down from walking. She had somehow crossed unfamiliar highways, towns, and rivers, moving steadily closer to the place she belonged. When a vet scanned her microchip, it confirmed the impossible. It was Holly. This little tortoiseshell cat had traveled almost 200 miles, completely alone. And to this day, no one fully understands how she found her way home. We'll pause there. Stay with us. Story 2. On a small island near Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil, a retired fisherman named João found a tiny penguin washed up on the rocks. It was a Magellanic penguin, covered in oil, starving, and barely alive. Most people would have walked past, but João couldn't. He gently carried the little bird home. For days he cleaned the oil from its feathers, fed it fish by hand, and slowly nursed it back to strength. He named the penguin Dindim. When Dindim was finally healthy again, João took him to the water and let him go. The penguin swam out into the open ocean, and everyone assumed that was the last they would ever see of him. But a few months later, Dindim came back. He waddled up the very same beach, straight to the man who had saved him. And he kept returning, year after year, spending months at João's side before disappearing again into the sea. Biologists believe he swims thousands of miles all the way from the coast of Argentina just to be with his friend, a tiny penguin, an entire ocean, and a bond strong enough to bring him home again and again. We'll pause there. Stay with us. Story 3. For thousands of years, humans have trusted one bird to carry their most important messages across impossible distances: the homing pigeon. From the ancient world to the modern age, these birds delivered news that could change lives. Released hundreds of miles from home, in a place it has never seen, a homing pigeon rises into the sky, circles once, and somehow chooses the right direction. Then it flies, across fields and forests, over cities and coastlines, through wind and changing weather. Some pigeons can travel over 1,000 miles and still find their way back to a single rooftop. Scientists believe they navigate using the sun, familiar landmarks, smells, and even the Earth's magnetic field. A living compass, finely tuned over thousands of years. And yet, even now, we don't fully understand it. Some lost birds have turned up years later, thousands of miles from where they were expected, still carrying the instinct to go home. Scientists keep studying them, hoping to unlock the secret. To us, the journey looks impossible, but to the pigeon, it is simply the way home. We'll pause there. Stay with us. And finally, story 4. On a dark, quiet beach, a baby sea turtle breaks free from its shell beneath the sand. No bigger than the palm of your hand, it scrambles toward the moonlit ocean and disappears into the waves. It is completely alone, and the journey ahead of it is almost beyond imagination. For years, sometimes for decades, that little turtle travels through entire oceans. It can swim tens of thousands of miles, crossing currents and storms, growing slowly into an adult. Only a tiny few survive the journey at all. And then one day, something incredible happens. The grown female turns and begins the long swim back. She doesn't return to just any beach, not just the right country, not just the right coastline, but often the very same stretch of sand where she first hatched, decades earlier. Scientists call it natal homing. They believe sea turtles read the Earth's magnetic field like a map, remembering the unique signature of their birthplace. across a lifetime, across an entire ocean. After thousands of miles, she returns to exactly where her story began. That's What the Wild for tonight. I'm Max Meerkat. If you enjoyed this story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss what the wild has in store. New stories several times a week. Until next time, stay wild.